Nothing lives here, not even you.
Wir werden das
It's
überleben.
in your mind. You think you can see it, but it's in your mind.
Wir schaffen das. Egal, was die Stimmen sagen.
There he was. The lone figure of a boy. Sword play under the shade of a tree. She remembers the first time she saw him. To her young eyes, he moved as if dancing. And the world danced with him. The gloom lifted. For the first time in years, she felt a ray of hope.
He's there, under the tree.
Light.
You can see him. Come, you have to keep
Dillian is waiting. Keep going.
Aber erstmal will ich das hier.
The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword only comes out in Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Siggeir, wants it, but Sigmund refuses him, so King Siggeir plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Siggeir captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution.
Wie freundlich zu einem Bruder, ne? So, jetzt hinsetzen. So. Jetzt müssen wir erstmal gucken. Wir waren hier eigentlich schon mal gewesen, oder? Bevor ich jetzt zum Baum gehe, will ich erstmal da hochgehen. Ich bin noch nicht zum Baum. Ich will wissen, was hier oben noch ist. Na, guck mal. Gut, ne?
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens.
Was ist denn passiert? Ich meine, mögen Wölfe Honig? War jetzt mal eine ganz doofe Frage. Oder wurde er einfach nur abgeschlappert? Das wäre jetzt mal so meine Frage. Ich meine, allein schon, dass die Königin auch noch die Schwester ist dann auch nochmal so, ah, okay. Aber, nee, okay ist es also nicht, also, ihr wisst, was ich meine, es ist einfach, ja. Ihr wisst, denke ich mal, was ich meine, also nicht im positiven Sinne.
As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free. After his escape, Sigmund lives like us, hidden in the forest. His enemy, King Siggeir, believing him dead, as his sister plots revenge. And for vengeance to succeed, even the great Sigmund needs help. So she sends her sons to him. But their blood is weak and corrupted, and they're put to death by Sigmund. So his sister hatches a new plan, one that is cold of heart and pure of blood.
Okay. Also hatte sie jetzt auf Sigmund abgesehen oder auf den König, ihr Mann zu sein scheint? Ich glaube, ich muss mir das irgendwann mal selbst nochmal durchhören. So, mal in Ruhe. Na komm, du schaffst, Mädel. Du hast gegen Feinde gekämpft, die waren weit schlimmer als das jetzt. Ist hier oben noch irgendwas? Ne, da kam ich her, oder? Hier ist sonst nichts. Sie tut mir ja wirklich, wirklich leid, also schon. Aber ich glaube, das habe ich schon mehrmals jetzt gesagt. Ich wiederhole mich gerne mal, ich weiß. Ist hier noch irgendwas? Nee, hier können wir nur langlaufen. Soll mich einfach so ziellos durch die Gegend irre, aber ich will halt auch diese Steine einfach mitnehmen und ich will einfach die Geschichte weiter erfahren. Weil ich es einfach hochinteressant finde. Also nicht nur Senuas Geschichte, sondern auch generell die erzählt werden, bin ich hochinteressant.
Day after day, watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfjotli. After a time, she sends him to the forest to Sigmund. He tests the boy and finds him strong and fearless, and so they go to take their vengeance on King Siggeir. But luck is not on their side. They're captured, and Siggeir has them buried alive.
Echt freundlich, wirklich. Aber von diesem Sigmund hatte ich ja schon mal irgendwo mal von irgendeiner Band ein Lied gehört gehabt. Das fällt mir gerade so wieder ein.
It's a trick. It's an illusion. It's not real. Don't you really think it's real? You want to believe it's real, but it's a trick. You're deluded. Where are you going? Where is she going? What is she following? You can't even fight. It's just deception.
How does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
Das sieht wirklich schön aus jetzt. Hier bleibe ich. Hier sieht es friedlich aus. Nichts mehr tot. Okay, Toten hängen mehr rum. Jede Menge Blumen. Leider ist da ein bisschen die... Ja. Was ich da jetzt ein bisschen vermisse, ist, dass wenn man durchs Gras geht, dass es sich beiseite biegt. Das vermisse ich so ein bisschen.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zenua's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
No one.
Well, I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
I'm Dillian. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who is supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are.
You killed him.
But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy
They
you.
won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here!
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone!
You will die here.
No!
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Dillian? Is that you? I'll find you, man. I promise.
Can you see him? You want to believe him. Is he not real? Is he not? You're alone in these mountains. Is that Dillian? Nothing lives here. You won't survive. You met him by the tree. She met him by the tree. Maybe it's a sign, the tree. What's he trying to tell you? He's waiting for you by the tree.
So, jetzt kann ich auch wieder reden. Und wir werden definitiv Dillian wiederholen. Das hoffe ich zumindest. Was ist das hier? Hier ist nichts. Okay. Wir haben es versprochen, also werden wir das Versprechen noch einhalten. Außerdem möchte ich einfach mehr erfahren. Ich möchte aber die gesamte Geschichte erfahren.
As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hall. The king burns to death. Sigmund calls to his sister to come out, so that she may live and be honored. She does come out, but only to tell him the truth. That she had slept with him, her brother, to beget a strong avenger. I am not fit to live, she says, and walks back into the fire. Strike vengeance from your heart, Senua, as there is always a heavy price to pay.
Das stimmt. Da gebe ich Truth recht. Ich glaube, Truth hieß er, ne? Ich kann mir auch manchmal Namen echt nicht merken. Schlimm bei mir. Okay, da können wir hoch. Ja, Moment, ich muss mich erst mal anders hinsetzen. Ach. So, ist da noch was? Oh.
And here is the end of Sigmund's story. He was a fierce and great warrior who fought many battles. But one day, an old man came onto the battlefield. Although shadowed by a hood, Sigmund saw that he only had one eye. The man raised his spear, and Sigmund struck at it with his sword, but the sword shattered into pieces. Sigmund then knew that this was Odin, and thus that victory could not be his. He bowed his head and accepted his end. Dying, he tells his wife that she is with child, and that her son will one day make a great weapon out of the fragments of his sword. The sword named Gram.
Okay, von dem Schwert weiß ich jetzt gerade nichts. Aber ich weiß vieles nicht wirklich, also da bin ich ein bisschen, ja. Da bin ich auch ein bisschen froh, dass es hier erzählt wird, um was es geht und ich nicht sozusagen dumm sterben muss. Gehen wir hier hoch. Ist hier noch was? Da ist ein Seil. Okay. Ja, also da runter. Da unten waren wir ja gewesen.